Hello everyone. Today we have a historic game in our hands. On the left is Dr. Mohan Singh Pradhan, and on the right we have former Olympiad member of Nepal's team in 2012, Mr. Deergha Raj Joshi. The game starts with e4, c6, Karakan, d4, d5, and Mohan sir plays e5. They advanced French, and after bishop f5, Mohan sir is thinking, and he goes for the old line with bishop d3. Deergha Raj sir captures, queen takes d3. Mohan sir starts with knight f3. Mohan sir has been playing chess for more than 40 years and he's an inspiration to all of us. Knight d7 and castle played. c5, c3. Deergha Raj sir already has a wonderful position with a good form of the French defense. Knight e7. Mohan sir played bishop g5, h6, and Mohan sir, as always, is eager to capture the opponent's knight. Okay, bishop takes e7. Now knight bd2. Deergha Raj sir goes for castle. Now let's see what Mohan sir does. Usually white will try to destroy the center and hope to generate some queenside gameplay, but here he plays rook e1, and after queen b6 I think black is already comfortable. Mohan sir slowly plays b3. He is around 1700 rated in blitz, while Deergha Raj Joshi sir has a peak rating of around 2080 in classical. So both are veterans but also very strong. And now after rook a c8, Mohan sir is thinking. Look at his expressions, look at his hand movement. Wearing a Dhaka topi always. His love for dogs is well known in the chess community. He goes for c4 now. His plan is to capture with the knight if they do, but over here black has a very nasty idea of queen to a6, pinning this pawn like this, but let's see what Deergha Raj Joshi sir goes for. Okay, he captures the pawn on d4. Now of course you can take it back, but after bishop c5 black is attacking on f2, so you have to go somewhere like h4, and I think black just takes over the queen side. That is why after rook e2 takes, knight takes. Now again there is queen a6, but if the idea is unknown to you, it is difficult to spot in a real game. Queen c5 was played. He's trying to put pressure on e5. However, two knights and a rook are defending, so it is pointless right now. Perhaps black should have played queen a6, b5, queen b6 and went for a push, but after queen takes d4 the position is roughly equal. Again, something like b5 could be played here, but after the trade, rook c5 is played. Deergha Raj Joshi sir wants this e5 pawn. Now rook d1 would be a nice idea here, going for a cheeky knight takes e6. Let's see what Mohan Singh Pradhan, the doctor. He's also a professor at a certain college in Nepal, in Kathmandu. He teaches chemistry, and okay, he plays knight to f3, somewhat of a passive move. And Deergha Raj Joshi sir is on the attack with g5. Rook d1 is played, attacking the knight on d7. However, now it's very difficult to find knight b8 to c6, but Deergha Raj Joshi sir, being an experienced player, spots it immediately. Still, it is difficult to progress as white. You just need to stop g4 now. Okay, but Mohan sir makes a weakening move. Pawn to g4. Now these dark squares are very weak, and somehow if this knight gets into this f4 square, it will be lights out for white. Now after b5, Mohan sir plays knight to b2. Now Deergha Raj sir wants to trade the rooks because his pieces have no space, and white's rook was controlling the d file. So after certain trades, Mohan sir went for rook d2, which was not accurate because, as you'll see in the video as well, Deergha Raj Joshi sir got a tempo, and the rook has to return to e2 now, because if you don't, then the rook will infiltrate on the second rank. Of course, something like knight d3 could also have been played. After knight c6, he goes for a normal idea with a fork on the way, but the fork is also not possible because there is a check for black and he won't win a piece. But Deergha Raj Joshi sir plays bishop to c3, and after pawn to b4, this knight has no squares to go to. He could have played knight to d3. Okay, now this e5 pawn cannot be saved anyway, and here Mohan sir looks surprised that he doesn't have any squares to go to, so he's thinking. He slowly plays knight to e1 and presses the clock. But after something like knight d4, the game would be over, because if rook e3, there is bishop takes e1, rook takes e1, and knight to f3. So let's see what Deergha Raj sir goes for. He just grabs the pawn. Okay, that's also a good move, attacking the pawn on g4. Now the position is already crumbling, so Mohan sir goes for king to f1. But black is too comfortable because all the pawns are weak. He can play the game very slowly, and as you see, Deergha Raj sir is not in a hurry. On the background, you can see Prakash Nepal Dai. He is smiling, looking at the position. Knight to e5 is played. A battle between two veterans, but both of them have played quite well. Okay, rook to c2, attacking the bishop, and after takes and knight to c4, I think the position is over. But alas, Mohan sir wanted to protect the a3 pawn, so he went for rook b3, and Deergha Raj Joshi in a fast motion played knight to d2 check. Mohan sir looks surprised, and that's the game. He resigns. So thank you everyone for watching. Everyone is analyzing, and see you all.